Hey people, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Okay. The volume is good. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. That's right, I'm inside. I ain't doing too much of nothing. The last couple of days I've just been giving you guys some clips and things that I've seen online with TikTok and everything that's going on with the government shutdown being over to the Epstein files being released. Well, not files being released, but emails coming out. It has just been a lot. I mean, it's been too damn much if you ask me. But ain't nobody asked me, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I wanted to change the subject because, like I said, I've been given 2 days full of shenanigans, and I wanted to just kind of just change it because after this last thing that I've heard about, you know, allegedly there's an email where Epstein is saying that allegedly Trump did oral on Clinton, and I'm talking about Bill. Yes, I'm talking about Bill. So after I heard that, I just said, you know what? I think I've heard enough for the moment. So I'm kind of cool on that. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I'm cool on it. And I'm cool. Cause now at this moment, I don't know what to believe. I don't know now if the man was just sending emails just in case somebody seen him later on. It's just too damn much. You know what I mean? It's just too much. And speaking of too much, let me just tell y'all that y'all recall when I talked about Antonio Brown and how he got arrested over there in Dubai, and then they extradited him back to America so that he can, face charges for this attempted murder where he supposedly shot a gun outside of a club or something like that down in Florida. So anyway, yeah. He pled not guilty to the attempted murder charges related to the shooting at the Aiden Ross boxing event. Now, on Monday, yeah, that's right. It's just been so much with the Epstein's child. So on Monday, Brown's attorney entered the plea and shared a statement with TMZ Sports, saying his client acted in self-defense. So, in quote, he says the actions he was forced to take were solely in self-defense against the alleged victim's violent behavior. Brown was attacked that night and acted within his legal right to protect himself from any individual who had previously committed crimes against him. Footage posted online appears to show Brown in an altercation before running towards a group of people holding an object. A sound resembling a gunfire could be heard, and witnesses on the scene reacted, with one shouting that Brown had a gun. The athlete was detained but released the same night because police could not locate the victim. Brown was extradited, like I said, from the UAE back to New Jersey last Thursday, and is expected to be transferred to Florida for trial. Now, once a star with the Steelers, Pittsburgh, Browns has faced multiple off-field issues since leaving the NFL. His lawyer said he is confident the evidence will support Brown's claim of self-defense. You know what? In the way that the world is going now, does it even matter if he is guilty or not? Because with the money, it doesn't even matter, right? I mean, you see what's going on. Everyone seems to be shocked and outraged. And it's more or less, are you shocked and outraged that the public is finding out about these emails and what's going on inside? Because you guys already knew about it. So why haven't you guys taken the moral road and, got rid of all this and then came out to the people and said, hey, look, this is what we found. We rectified it, and this is what's going on. But it's like you're waiting until the people find out, and now you having this outrage. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. But with Antonio Brown, that man has been in so much stuff since y'all remember when Keisha Cole had lost her mind behind him and he had her looking like a damn fool. Y'all remember that? Speaking of Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, she said, end quote, she was a cokehead and it destroyed her nose. All right. Now Paris, who is 27, she's the daughter of Michael Jackson. That's what they say, child, is getting candid about how her past drugs, her drug use has left a lasting mark on her body. Now, in a recent video that's going viral across social media, Paris revealed that she was known as let's just say that she had developed one of those little small holes in your cartridge, that separate your nostrils, that piece right there, that it caused, that she ended up damaging it, spectrum. She ended up damaging it because of the drug use. So let's see if this. Oh, okay. So in the clip, which was reshared on TikTok over the weekend, Paris began by addressing something her fans have occasionally noticed. Right, the faint whistling sound in her voice when she breathes. So she said, in quote, "I realize I've never addressed this, and it can be sometimes very noticeable. I have a very loud whistle because you can hear, I have a real loud whistle because you can hear it when I breathe through my nose, and that is because I have what is called a perfido spectrum, whatever. To demonstrate, Paris held a light to her nostril, showing a small hole inside it. Oh, child, it's hollow in the child. Now she clarified that the issue is slightly different from a deviated spectrum, right? And that in her case, it was directly tied to her past drug use. It's exactly where you think it's from, she said matter of factly, before warning her followers, don't do drugs, kids. I don't recommend it. It'll ruin your life. Now, according to medical experts, um, what she has, it's a hole in the tissue or the bone between the nostrils. The condition can lead to the whistling sound. It could bleed. It could be congestion. I mean, it could get congested or even visibly change, how the nose is shaped over time. Now, common causes include injury or long term exposure to chemicals and things like that. Drug use is one of them. Now she says that she lived with the condition since she was about 20 years old, and it's something that is very challenging to her, especially when she would go to like record in the studios and things. Now I didn't know that she was. I mean, it's not for me to know, but I didn't know the girl was on coke. I would have thought she would have been on something more. I don't know, like LSD ish, maybe. Something more psychedelic type. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just say, okay, you supposed to be on crack, you supposed to be on this. But she just didn't really give anyway. So Paris, who recently celebrated nearly 6 years of sobriety, says that she has no plans to undergo plastic surgery to correct the issue. Instead, she's focused on continuing her recovery journey, emphasizing that her sobriety and peace of mind come before her appearance. Now, fans flooded social media with support and admiration for her honesty, which you have to love that, right? Now, through the ups and downs of growing up in the public eye, Paris has became, her own authentic self, and her openness, about her mental health and addiction recovery is very, it's something worthy to applaud, right? Because a lot of people, they're not going to tell you, they're only going to show you the glitz and the glamour, but they're not going to really tell you about the mental health and the addiction that comes with really having all that you want. You get what I'm saying? You come from money, you have money. So money is not an option. And I think that's how a lot of them people get freaked out. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of poor people that's freaked out too. But I'm just saying, you know how they have the little rumor and stuff about the people back in the day, they were going over to like Bosnia, the rich people, and they were like shooting at the civilians allegedly. They got like this deep dive going on into that because of these allegations from people who lived during that time who were saying it was going on. But yeah, I think that just sometimes people just get so much money to where like money is just like nothing. You're not even thinking about it. It's kind of like being on auto pay, but like I can do it at the highest level. My auto pay is, y'all know how it is. And it's just, people just get kind of, I don't know, man. I just never I mean, I get it, but I just never understood how people could just, be so wealthy and just not find anything else better to do with your time than just sit in a room like when Whitney had said that her and Bobby sat in they mansion for like 2 or 3 years, or Bobby said it for like 2 or 3 years, and they just did, crack and all that. They just stayed inside for like 2 or 3 years, didn't come outside. Bobby was like, "I came outside and it was 3 years later." Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you just I would just buy an island and just, I mean, like, I guess there's only so much traveling you would wanna do. I don't know. I just don't think drugs would be my thing of choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I smoke my little marijuana, but if I was a multimillionaire, I still smoke my weed, but I travel too though. I think I'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go to a different country every month or every, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't, just I don't know. Namaste. I be over there doing that, child. Now Tyrese and Kevin McCall are clearing the air after McCall's recent comments about their friendship. Now, in a clip, Tyrese met with McCall to talk about, oh, excuse me, about the remarks the singer made during an appearance on the Back on Fig podcast. Now, why these men just keep going at each other? I seen, I gotta go. Let me sidebar real quick. Put your slippers on. I seen clips where were in the strip club and they were swinging on the poles and swinging on the hoops. And I'm talking about the dude, like it wasn't even like he was trying, because I don't really know no real dude or no real man that's gonna do that in the strip club, because they're gonna come in there, they sitting down, they want to see the girls, right? Unless they go to the men club. But the guy was doing it, and it's like when he was coming down off of, like, how they have like the hula hoop that's hanging in the air. And when the guy was coming down, the way his back was arched and he was bringing his feet down, it's like he had been waiting for that moment like all his life. Like, that right there, he's gonna remember that. That was like, that was the best feeling he had ever had in his life, right? But anyway, so McCall has said that Tyrese did not help him when he was homeless and struggling financially. He also said the situation happened while he was dealing with a custody dispute with his ex Eva. Now, Tyrese responds in the video telling McCall that his story was not accurate. So let me let y'all hear the video. I just wanted him to tell people the real story. And then we was just trying to go viral over the story. Then just tell me you want to go viral. If you ain't gonna tell me the real story, then we out here playing games. And we real boxers. We don't play. We don't do the viral shit. Man, you don't even folks know. Okay, so the audio ain't all this. So basically, in quote, Tyrese says, "I just want you to tell the people the real story. If we were just trying to go viral, then just say that. But if you're not going to tell people the truth, that's not how that's not how we do things." He continued on and saying, "You were um imitating my voice and people and telling people I left you when you were homeless. That's not what happened. You called me and asked me to help. I didn't go at you or respond, but that's not the true story." Now, Tyrese explained that he was dealing with his own personal issues at the time, including a difficult custody dispute as well. "Everything about your situation was public, but I was in the middle of my own. What I was going through was on another level. I had to handle my own business before anything else," which is true, right? I think sometimes people forget that you have your own life. You know? Now they say they put the past, the few behind them, which is cool, but I got my own life too. I have my own struggles. I might not have time to deal with your struggles and my struggles. You get what I'm saying? And speaking of struggles, I didn't know that Ice Spice was having a struggle. Now, Ice Spice rose to fame as a super thick baddie, much to the delight of her fans, but fans were disappointed when the Munch rapper decided to drop the weight drastically last year. Now, y'all remember when she was looking real skinny. Now, on Instagram, Ice Spice shared a clip of her new video, Pretty Privileged, with the words, "So happy to be thick as F again." Now, in 2024, Ice Spice was rumored to be using the weight loss drug Ozempic to, get rid of them curves and stuff. And a claim that she did deny. So let's just say that. Now, she continued and she made comments on, when people were saying that. She was like, "I wish y'all Never learned the word Ozempic. That's one thing I wish. Oh my God, like what even is Ozempic? What the F is that? Genuinely, what is that? You lazy ass bitches have nothing better to do. Y'all never heard of the gym. It's called the gym. It's called eating healthy. It's called being on tour. Like, what the hell? Maybe if I was sitting at home all day, it would be easier to stay big. Now, despite her voluptuous curves returning in her trademark twerk, Pretty Pretty is still struggling to amass a million views on TikTok. I mean, on YouTube in 5 days. Child, in 5 days? Let me see here. Now, when Cardi B had dropped that song that she did from Jay-Z, she didn't have like a million. She didn't have like 5 million. Wait a minute, she had about 4 million views in like 5 or 6 days. Cause I remember looking, cause Doja Cat was dropping around the same time, and Doja Cat hit like a million or something in her first day. But anyway, so I guess, child. So her law fans are glad she's back, but they damn sure ain't checking for her in this weight gain. I guess. I guess some people told her, "You better hurry put that weight back on." Now I did not know that Jim Carrey, had a new face, but he made a surprise appearance at the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introduction ceremony, right? But it wasn't just his presence that got people talking, child. He looked unrecognizable. Like people really was like, what happened? Now Carrie, who was mostly famous, who was mostly famous for being out of the public spotlight, especially for the last few years, stepped out on the red carpet in Cleveland wearing a chic black shirt, silver tie, and his trademark grin. Though, this time fans noticed something very different. Now, to me, it looked like he put some little Botox in. You know what? It looked like he got the Chris Jenner special. Like his face looked real tight and juvenated up there in the top. I would say Botox, but because he's so, because he's older, this is past Botox. Because it's only so much Botox can do before they just say, "Listen, we just gonna have to just pull that on back. We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing else." Now his girlfriend, is that his girlfriend? Let me see here. And okay, now they don't necessarily say if that's his girlfriend or not, but it's given as his young girlfriend. She looks like she is in her good early 20s. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Sometimes white people, yeah, I don't know. Some people don't age well, and he looks younger than her. I mean, Jim Carrey looks like he went and got snatched real good. I'm talking about he snatched so good, he damn near look like Leonardo DiCaprio right now. Like how Leonardo look at his age now. I think Leonardo was like 50. Jim Carrey looked like a 50-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm telling you, if you squint a little bit, just anyway. But speaking of squinting, so according to sources, Shannon Sharpe, one of the biggest names in sports commentary, when he reached that multi-million-dollar settlement with his ex-girlfriend Gabrielle, the little 22-year-old OnlyFans type thing, that he briefly dated. Oh yeah. While the legal details remain sealed, word on the curb is that Gabby walked away with, a serious payout. And she wasted no time enjoying that new life, child. Now she is showing off a lavish Texas mansion that she bought and a new AP watch, reportedly worth 50K. Yeah, that's right. This chick done went and bought her a watch worth 50,000. I ain't mad at her. You let me get some money. Well, I ain't gonna, you know what? I'm past all that. Anyway, so word on the curve is that the stunning estate, and let's just say it's giving luxury goals. The mansion sits on 5 acres of scenic countryside, okay, surrounded by rolling hills and a private gate. The home features a ton of bedrooms and bathrooms, a marble kitchen, and a luxury spa that overlooks the hills. There's even a home theater and recording studio perfect for entertaining guests or filming content. Now, one of her insiders said that Gabby wanted a peaceful new beginning, and this mansion represents that. Now, I put a clip in there from her backside, child, when she got the pool out there, girl. Now, in the Instagram, I ain't even mad at. Let me tell you something. I'm not even mad at the little skank. Listen, if I would have been able to hit a lick like that in my younger age, baby, I would have. I knew thousandaires. I ain't had the chance to really, well, I had a couple encounters, but I never liked older men. I always my guy boyfriends always were within like 4 years my age. I always felt like older men liking me was creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, maybe that was just instilled in me at a young age to where I didn't even know it, but it just always just seemed weird if an older man was like you know how old I am? I am. You know what I'm saying? Example, I'm 15. I look 15. Sir, you are, I don't know, example, 25. Go find you a 25-year-old. That was me at every age. I always like, how old are you? Oh, okay. 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years was pushing it. But I never did nothing. No, I try to stay within my age because I just didn't see what we had in common. Now, in a recent Instagram post, Gabby, we're gonna call her Big G for short, gave fans a mini tour of her new home, casually flashing her platinum AP watch while getting her nails done. Now, social media immediately noticed within hours the video went viral with fans zooming in to identify the timepiece, right? They already did the model and they said that watch at least start off at 50K, so we ain't knocking that out. Now, meanwhile, Shannon Sharpe, child, and remember he said he wouldn't even get his daughter, what I think he said, no more than 30,000 for her wedding. If you can't do it with 30,000, you can't do it with nothing. He didn't tell Gabby that. Now, Shannon has remained quiet, since news of the settlement broke. Once a dominant voice in sports broadcasting has been noticeably silent from the spotlight lately. Industry insiders claim Sparks, they said Sparks. No, I think they meant Sharp. Sharp is reconstructing his media ventures after stepping back from television earlier this year. He's regrouping. He's a strong guy. This is just a reset. Still, many online are calling this one of the most expensive celebrity breakups of the year, and Big G seems to be leaning into her moment. Child, I ain't mad at her. With a mansion, a luxury car collection rumored to be worth, in the works, because she's working on a car collection, and a diamond clustered AP. I mean, Big G, listen, the self care and the soft life energy, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And whether you agree with her approach or not, there's no denying Big G is living her best life, one luxury flex at a time. I'm not, listen, let me tell you something. What's wrong with that girl getting what she got? He played the game and he lost. That's what life is. Life is a game. At the end of the day, you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. You're gonna go out and when it's your time, you're gonna go out one way or another, you're gonna go out. We don't know how we're gonna leave, but one way or another, we're gonna go out. Now you either gonna go out and you're gonna know what's going on and you're gonna realize it, or you're gonna go out and you just gonna be like, damn, I really didn't do nothing with my life. I don't know. Some people are okay with it. Some people okay with just going out. My cousin, I remember my cousin, she used to go by this old guy. He stayed next door and they used to drink a lot. And he like died sitting in the chair while they was out there drinking. You get what I'm saying? Like he just died right then and there. He wouldn't have known. You know what I'm saying? All he did was just work, come home, drink, work, come home, drink, and he was content with that. And if he was happy that was his life, and then maybe in his way he won, in his way he won, because that's what he chose to do till he died. So I'm saying he won in his own way. Now, speaking of one in their own way, Lil Uzi Vert, I told y'all I am great at this. And I kid you not, I just be rambling and talking and rambling. Now, Lil Uzi Vert's former assistant, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but y'all know JT had one head on and deactivated her Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. I'm thinking about getting me a Twitter account, but I can't because of Elon Musk. But I'm so considering getting me one because it seems like it be going down over there. It seemed like it's like the wild, wild west over there. I'm talking about people would deactivate that. They won't deactivate TikTok or IG, but they'll deactivate X. Like you could just hammer it. I am gonna give me one. Child. Now, Lil Uzi Vert's former personal assistant has withdrawn her lawsuit accusing the rapper of harassment and workplace misconduct. Now, on Tuesday, the Jane Doe's attorney filed to dismiss the case without prejudice, leaving the option to open, to refile. Because if you file it with prejudice, mean that you can't, refile it, you know. Anyway, now the suit filed earlier this year alleged that Doe endured emotional distress and unwelcome sexual advances while working for the rapper. Now, she claims she was recruited in 2022 after meeting Uzi at a LA Balenciaga store, but she, said the job soon became hostile and inappropriate. Now, Doe alleged the rapper even sent her several inappropriate messages, including messages such as, "Come rub me down before you leave and let me see that booty." Now, court documents describe long hours, unpaid expenses, and inappropriate messages reportedly sent by Uzi. Now, Doe also accused Rock Nation, which manages the rapper, and Uzi Vert's company, Uzi Vert LLC, of ignoring her complaints. Now, she said she worked up 30 hours straight covering travel costs for herself, and she, also said that um, she was only entitled to her base salary. Now, in 2023, she joined Rock Nation staff with a $100,000 salary, but said promised reviews and raises never happened, and that she was even asked to assist Uzi's girlfriend JT without extra pay. Now the stress led to therapy in 2024, and then she eventually resigned, describing her exit as a constructive discharge. Now the lawsuit sought damages for sexual harassment, unpaid wages, and emotional harm. Now I do believe that they said that he settled this case within 7 days, 5 to 7 days. So that was pretty fast. 5 to 7 days. Nobody's beating Diddy, because I think Diddy was a sneeze and he was settled. But nobody's beating Diddy. I think Cassie came out like if it was November the 10th, it was settled November the 11th at that morning before the first docket hit the court. It was already settled. Now, I do want to say that Don Richards claims, her former mentor, Sean Diddy Combs, continued to intimidate her even after he has been arrested. Now, in a 39-page response filed last week in Manhattan federal court, Richards' lawyer argued that her lawsuit should move forward because Diddy's allegedly abuse and threats are still going on. Now, the singer, known for her work in Danity Kane and Dirty Money, accused him of sex trafficking, forced labor, and gender-based violence. She says she waited to file her case because she feared for her safety. Now, the filing states that Richards was repeatedly warned to keep quiet after witnessing Diddy abuse Cassie. You know what I mean? Y'all remember when she got on the stand and talked, you know. Now he allegedly told her if you say anything, there will be consequences. People end up missing. She also recalls him shouting phrases like, "I make people go missing and you want to die today," which her team says made her fear he would act on his threats. Now her attorney claims the intimidation went on for years after their professional relationship ended in 2012. They described a pattern of harassment, manipulation, and emotional control disguised as guidance. Now, the document also refers to Diddy's federal criminal case where prosecutors describe him as a serial obstructor. Ooh, child. Now, Richard's lawyer, Lisa Bloom, mm, says Diddy tried to interfere with a witness in her case last year from behind bars. The filing says that the incident proved Richard's fears were justified and showed that his attempts to intimidate her continued even after his 2024 arrest on trafficking and racketeering charges. Now, there's no indication that Combs' ability or willingness to act on his threats ever ceased. It reads right. Richards also describes mistreatment during her time working with Diddy on Making the Band and with Dirty Money. She alleges he deprived her of food and sleep, groped her, and demanded sexual favors. When she pushed back, she says he retaliated by cutting her from songs and withholding her pay. She further accuses Diddy and associates Harvey Peer of confining her in a car and later in a room after she confronted him about his behavior. Now, in addition to all the abuse claims, Richard says Diddy used her vocals without consent on his 2023 album, the Love album, Off the Grid. She says her voice can be heard on the track Deliver Me, which was recorded in 2009 and never, licensed for release. Now, Diddy has denied all the allegations. He is, of course, serving this 4-year sentence at the FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. Well, New Jersey just got everybody out there, don't they? That must be the prison to be at. Now, speaking of places you want to be and you don't want to be, now I wish Vivica could just go sit her ass down somewhere, keep talking about this freaking 50 Cent. Now, she was over there, and this is she once alleged that 50 Cent was the love of her life, and now advising flourishing women to stay away from him and any other rappers. Now, Fox was a guest speaker at New Jersey's Ultimate Woman's Expo, where she advised audiences, the members on, about what not to do on the road to success. So she says, in quote, "Don't date 50 Cent. Don't date no damn rapper. Facts just," she said, "facts just so you know, it took me years to be able to laugh about it. I had to learn to laugh, not to cry no more, but I did it." Okay? Now let me let y'all hear what she said real quick. Hold on, let me put my earpiece in. Hold on.
Fire to chase after their dreams. Don't date 50 Cent, don't date no damn rappers. To be able to laugh about it. I had to learn to laugh, not to cry no more. But I did it. Yes.
Now listen. Now, okay, Miss Ma'am. I thought she had went and got her one of them BBLs and one of them things done. She don't, that's what I don't be understanding. Them girls be going and getting that work done, and then like a year or two later, you see them, and it just be. You know what I mean? Like you just like, girl, what happened? I thought you cared. You didn't care. It was only for the moment, child. That's why you just gotta be thinking. You gotta think about it. Like, you know what? Let me think on it for about 48 to 72 hours, and then if I still want to go and get it done, I'ma still think about it. Now, back in 2015, Fox reflect on her relationship with the G Unit boss, and she was saying, he is absolutely the love of my life. I really, really care for him, and I loved him very, very much, and I always will. But he just wasn't right for me. That's hard when you really, really love a person in your heart. You want to be with them, but you finally, have to say he's just not right for me. Now, after seeing Fox's latest remarks, 50 Cent took to Instagram to respond with an AI assisted image of himself holding a red pill in one hand and a blue pill in the other. And it said, "Either way, I'm a have that ass in the Matrix. I love me some you girl, but damn, it's been 22 years, Vivica. It's been 22 years. Damn." Yeah, I mean, I would just tell people to just stop even just don't even ask me about that man no more. Who is he? I don't know that man. I don't know that man. But anyway, I got a couple more things that I do want to talk about. However, I done had y'all here for about 33 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead on and start my new video. So y'all go ahead on and enjoy this. And until the next time, please click, share, subscribe. Y'all could give me some comments, help me out. Tell me if I need to, do something else. Y'all want to see some flying cars or jets or something like that. I ain't got no flying cars or jets, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I really do appreciate you guys clicking on the video and tuning in. And until next time, consistency is key. Toodles. Oh, I know